The last time the Lites ran in Minneapolis, a talented teenager was dominating the series. Not much has changed in 4 years. 3 wins and 3 tries have vaulted Trey Canard into the elite level of Supercross prospects. He's the new next big thing. Trey Canard wins the heat, wins the main in his first appearance in a Supercross race. Trey Canard celebrating already. The rider out of Elk City, Oklahoma, coming to the checkered flag in his second Supercross Lites East Coast race. He's 2 for 2. Trey Canard makes it 3 in a row with this win at Daytona. Honda's newest star looks to continue his winning ways as round 4 of the Lites East Coast region returns to Minneapolis. Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship brings the Supercross Lites East Coast region back to the Minneapolis Metrodome for the first time in 4 years. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen alongside Jeff Emig, and boy are we happy to be back in Minnesota this week. Biggest reason, we're inside a dome. A lot drier here than the torrential downpours we saw a week ago in Daytona Beach, Florida. You know, everybody has been talking about the season that Trey Canard and Ryan Villopoto have been having. One's having a very good year, one not so good. So Jeff Emig, what's the story with Trey Canard and why is he running so fast?
Well, I think Trey Canard just came in so extremely focused and confident that even though he's a rookie, that he can run with the veterans. He was not intimidated by these riders at all. On the track, it's his starts. He starts up front each and every race, puts him in a good position, keeps himself out of trouble. Consequently, he's led so much of this series, and he's been very strong. He's very confident.
Everybody in the preseason, except for maybe Trey Canard, would have told you that Ryan Villopoto was without question the odds-on favorite for this title this year. So what's gone wrong with number 2?
Well, I was one of those people that thought Ryan Villopoto was going to walk away with this championship, but as Ryan Villopoto told me today, is that his wrist is not quite as good as what he told us earlier in the year, in the offseason. So he's had problems with his right wrist. I think that it's affected his riding, it's affected his confidence. And also, he's had a lot of expectations to just come in and win all these races. Now that he hasn't, there is some pressure to get the job done, but I think there's a great opportunity for Villopoto here in a dome, Supercross setting, to come back and rebound.
Earlier today, we had the opportunity to catch up with Trey and Ryan, and we asked them about how radically different their 2 seasons have been.
At the beginning of the season, I just prepared as much as I possibly could and did the best that I could in the gym and on the bike, and was as prepared as possible and tried not to think about anyone else but myself and be as prepared as possible, and I think that's what's happening.
Well, didn't know what to expect when I got hurt and just dealing with injuries, so I came in unexpected just to make it through the races.
The feeling when everything's just, you're in the groove and everything just seems to be happening, and man, it's awesome. It's what kind of needs to happen each weekend, and man, I'm looking forward to tonight.
Just try to get through the week, good, and show up to the weekend with, positive attitude and try to get a good start. So that's probably more than half the battle.
I'm approaching it 1 race at a time and doing the best that I can during the week, and just putting my best effort into the track and giving 200%. I know I've done everything I can possibly do, and I'm ready for tonight.
Just to try to get these next 4 wins, and I know Dungey was 36 points and now 6 points down, so anything can happen.
Well, we're getting ready to drop the gate in another chapter in the season, so Jeff, how about those 2 riders here tonight inside the Metrodome?
Well, qualifying practice earlier today was very interesting. Ryan Villopoto was really pushing hard to get that top qualifying spot. He had a couple of crashes along the way, some mistakes, but he never gave up, and he earned the fastest qualifying lap at the very end of practice. For Trey Canard, it was very different though. where he only rode the first one, had problems in the second practice, and so I think there might be some issues. Things have not gone as well for Trey Canard today as they have in the earlier 3 rounds.
Well, we're getting ready to drop the gate on the first heats of the night. Stay with us when we come back here to the Metrodome in Minneapolis. We'll see if Trey Canard can get his 4th win of the Supercross Lites East Coast Region season.
Truckers told us to give them a heck.
Coverage of the Monster Energy in Minneapolis, Minnesota. First time in 4 years we've been back in this town with Supercross. Here's a look inside. Nice crowd on hand tonight as we return to the city of Minneapolis. Folks getting ready for our first heat. Here's a look at our 4-1-1 for tonight's action. 2 heats, of course, top 9 transferring straight to the main. 1 last chance qualifier gives us our final 4 riders. 22-rider, 15-lap main event, round 4 of 7 for this year. Here's our MX versus ATV Untamed track map, Jeff.
Well, when you take a look at the track here, nice start. There's a couple of whoop sections. I think this section through here is going to be a good passing zone. Also think that this on-off, there's a couple of lines all around here just before the finish, and I think that's going to be one of the important passing spots also.
Well, as always, before we drop the first skate, we take a look at this. Oh, here's that on-F section, Jeff.
Yeah, and there's two ways to do this. If you go to the outside, you have to hit the berm, you go on-off. If you go to the inside, you're going to jump this, go on the inside of the off-camber, go down in here, and double out. It's going to be very interesting. It rutted up a lot in practice also.
Well, now it's time to go down for a progressive pre-race report with Aaron Bates.
Well, guys, the number 77 of Branden Jesseman, he was a 2003 East Coast Lites champion. In fact, he took the win here at the Metrodome in 2003. Since that point, his career has been a bit of a roller coaster on and off, but this weekend, a special weekend, in fact, because he's out to prove a point and especially to try to impress Mitch Payton. He did not qualify last weekend in Daytona in the mud race. So far, the best finish he's had is 6th of the season. His goal today to keep it on 2 wheels and to make 0 mistakes.
Enter to win the Dude for a Day Supercross style contest, where one lucky dude will win a trip to Vegas for the Supercross finals. Hang with the Kawasaki dudes and then take home your very own Kawasaki KX 450M motorcycle. Log on to speedtv.com, keyword dude now. There's our 30-second board, our starting grid, brought to you by Honda, going across the top of the screen. She's going to turn that board sideways, head for the sidelines, and we'll go racing. And one of those guys racing in this one will be Matt Bonney on the 109, 3rd in Daytona. Great night for him.
Yeah, his first podium ever, and what a great ride, and what a great thrill that was for Bonney. He needs to duplicate it here in the Dome.
Josh Grant getting a great shot out of the gate. Taking the whole shot and everybody gets through. Well, no, they don't. They start stacking up behind Grant. It looked like everybody's going to make it through. Now about 5 riders down.
5 riders down. They're all back up on their bikes, though.
95 by Kyle Partridge. Trying to get the machine started up again.
Yeah, he's having a little bit of problems getting that bike started, but no problems at all for Josh Grant. He was so fast today in the second qualifying practice. I mean, he was on the gas. And it wasn't until Villopoto's last lap that he nabbed the fastest qualifying spot. But Grant put together a whole string, a whole consecutive line of fast times. And I think that the pressure is really on Josh Grant to perform. I watched him in practice today. He just really had that swagger in his step, and he looked great on the motorcycle.
Let's go back, Jeff, and take a look at that start and that first turn crash.
That's Grant out of your picture now, but look how everybody bottles up. A couple riders here off to the right-hand side of your screen go down. Partridge was the last one up in this group. You can see him trying to pull his bike. He was stuck to another bike. He will definitely be in the LCQ.
Jeff, this is the battle back here for 3rd. Tyler Medaglia is one of those riders on the number 404.
Ryan Morais, 116, he's up, worked his way up into the top 3 or 4 right now as he crosses the stripe. That puts him 3rd.
Yeah, Medaglia gets kicked back to 4th. Skaggs on the 270. Right behind him, Nathan out of Ohio.
And I think that we really have looked for something more out of Ryan Morais this year because he was so close to winning the championship last year. Really has yet to find his groove.
Next to Villopoto's frustrations, I would say that's probably been the biggest disappointment of the East Coast Series so far.
Yeah, definitely. And Morais is not happy. He keeps working hard. As we take a look at Medaglia and Skaggs.
That's Medaglia right there on the 404, the yellow bike.
Both of these riders putting in a really good heat race.
And Skaggs on the red Honda.
This track is interesting. We all thought that it was going to get more rutted and then it would be a little softer in practice when we went through track walk with these guys. But you can see that it's really hard with some loose stuff on top. That's Jesseman working his way up.
In green, you see Jesseman, and you heard Aaron talking about the fact that the 77 needs a good performance. If you don't keep Mitch Payton happy, and you can do that by taking over position like that, you're in big trouble.
Well, definitely, because Jesseman came into this ride because another rider was injured. So when you step in as the replacement, you got to get the job done. And he's more than capable of it. You can see how he's working his way past Medaglia right now. Put the block pass on him, just push him out of the way, fire that Kawasaki back up and get through the whoops.
Remember, the top 9 transfer straight to the main. Those are the names in green across the top of your screen. Sipes right now looking at the trip to the LCQ. Now watch out, Jesseman worked his way up into these top 2 spots. Right now, Jesseman sitting in 4th.
Coming off the triple here, you can see how Jesseman, the main line was way over here. Jesseman and both riders decided they were both going to come in low. Jesseman comes up high, really just pinches him off. But that was a good, clean move. He didn't take Medaglia too deep to where the Medaglia went down. Or what often happens is that a rider takes the other rider so deep, the rider on the outside falls into him, both of them go down. So that does you no good in any race, especially a qualifying race.
Things going great for Josh Grant. As Jeff mentioned earlier today in practice, he was very fast. Looked like he was going to steal the #1 time right to the end. He's put up a 49.1 and he's leading with half a lap to go.
But I'm telling you, that 49.1 being his best time, which was the last lap, so that tells me that now he's warmed up as opposed to earlier in this race. But that's a 1.5 seconds off of what his fastest qualifying time was in practice. So either the track, after working on it, it's not quite worn in like it was in practice, or it's just a little bit off the pace and maybe saving a little for the main event. Definitely having some fun.
Yeah, he's having some fun. Very long straightaway here. Probably about 80 yards in length, and he took full advantage of it. Here he comes to the checkered flag. Josh Grant wins heat #1 in the Metrodome. Fight for second, and it looks like Morais, and it's going to be Jesseman, and it's going to be Koizi taking second. Morais is going to get third, and Jesseman's going to get fourth. So Koizi sneaking in there to take second place away as they make their way to the checkered flag. And a strong finish for Josh Grant.
This spring.
Metrodome here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Just got done with heat #1 for the Supercross Lites. These top 9 riders all the way down to Kyle Gills going on to the main event. Justin Sipes will lead the pack off to the last chance qualifier. So Josh Grant now gets to speak with our Aaron Bates.
Well, guys, Josh Grant celebrating his first heat race victory of the season. Josh, a little bit of ups and downs for you. The best finish so far is 7th. What do you do at this point of the season to regroup to finish off strong?
It has been up and down, and I can only go and hope for the best and ride the best that I can. And I just felt really comfortable tonight. Like, the track suits me really well, and I'm just I'm super pumped to have the Torco Racing Fuels Honda up front. And it's just it's a good feeling. I'm glad to get up here, and I'm just going to try to do that in the main event.
Good luck in the main.
Thanks.
I'm sure Josh Grant's going to pay close attention to heat #2, Jeff, because here we get to see Ryan Villopoto and Trey Canard in the same heat.
Well, definitely both of the two of the series championship favorites are on this one. We take a look at Tyler Bowers here, 391, Kentucky rider. Got a lot of speed.
8th in the Supercross Lites East Coast points right now as our starting lineup scrolls across the top of your screen. Martin Davalos in here as well. That's a pretty packed heat. In fact, Nico Izzi here as well. There's Canard on the 48.
Yeah, there's Canard. You see him. He has really had the eye of the tiger at this point of the race, of the night. Each and every Supercross, he has been so focused. Part of his strength is these great starts that he's had.
And there's the man looking to get a win. Number 2, Ryan Villopoto. Boy, Villopoto came rocketing out of the gate. He's got the whole shot. But look at Canard's back in third. This would do so much for Ryan Villopoto if he could come out and just disappear and win this heat race going away from Trey Canard.
Oh, it definitely would. He's got Martin Davalos setting in second place right now. So for Canard, setting in third, this is actually his worst start of the season. And what could happen tonight is by seeing Villopoto get out here, you already see him squirting away a few bike links. So that could really set in a sense of urgency for Canard. But I look for this guy to really keep he's got a good head on his shoulder. He's going to keep his cool.
He's going after Davalos. Up alongside. They're bar to bar. Into the corner. Here they come. And Davalos edges away from Canard once again. Closing in as well is the 57 of Ryan Sipes.
So Canard right now stuck in this KTM sandwich. You see there's a couple of riders there pushing 4th and 5th. Who you don't see is Ryan Villopoto. He is absolutely checked out. We're only a lap and a half into this race. You see him
He's all
off your screen, yeah.
All the way down already through the whoop section. That's Davalos and Canard come charging out and onto the long straightaway.
You notice just behind Canard, you're not seeing number 57, Ryan Sipes. He went down before that set of work, so he's going to have to do a little bit of extra work to get qualified into the main event.
And it's no real surprise that Martin Davalos is riding as well as he is, as he's starting to pull away from Canard. He's a former winner of the Lites competition. Saw him take a win in Toronto just a year ago. He's a fast rider when he can put his night together.
Definitely strong. And last season, Davalos' starts were a little better than what they have been, and that's why we've seen his name so much. So Davalos and his team obviously have something figured out here for the H.H.H. Dome in Minneapolis.
This has just not been a good night for Trey Canard. He's struggling through the practice, and it's continuing on here in the heat.
Well, I wouldn't say it hasn't been a good night, but right now here, this is he's a little off. So, and when you lead 39 of 40 laps coming into here, you know, any little mistake seems like a huge mistake.
So here's Ryan Villopoto. Now, Jeff, when we talked with Ryan, he held a press conference in Anaheim earlier this year during the West Coast Tour, got the media together and said, guys, I'm fit, I'm ready to go, but maybe that wasn't really the case.
Yeah, definitely. We went to the press conference with Villopoto. He says the wrist is fine. I've had it worked on a little bit. I broke my collarbone. That type of vibe, but everything's fine. Since then, a lot has transpired with Villopoto, and he's had to have his right wrist worked on 2 or 3 times. The final time, they actually took the navicular bone out of his right wrist. And here's Villopoto right here, number 2. Watch when this gate drops. He just gets a solid jump, and look how he drives straight from the drop of the clutch. The front wheel didn't even touch the ground for 30 or 40 feet, and he really drove forward.
Jeff, what would losing the navicular bone, and the issues with his wrist, for example, how would that affect his riding?
Well, I don't know personally what that would be like, but he did demonstrate to us the lack of movement that he has in his wrist. The range of motion is just gone. And I suffered a couple of wrist injuries late in my career. And I knew that you have to have that, especially in your right wrist, range of motion, side to side, supination, pronation is key for riding Supercross and riding a motorcycle. So for Villopoto, this last couple of months, he's had to go through numerous handlebar bend changes, the bar mounts, raising, lowering the bars. He just has not found a comfort zone on the bike because of the lack of range of motion that's in his wrist.
Martin Davalos has crashed, and that moves Trey Canard now up to second. But he is 10 seconds behind Villopoto. This is the most Villopoto-like we've seen Ryan all year.
This is a great feeling for Villopoto to get out here, do what he's done so many times. Get out there and gain that confidence, really start to feel the flow.
Checkered flag falls, and Ryan takes the win, and a huge shot of confidence. Now the fight for second making its way to the finish line. It goes to Canard, and right behind him will be Moss. So Ryan Villopoto turns a 48-2, the quickest lap of the Lites so far, and takes a win.
In just 50.
Sure, you remember the Mary Tyler Moore show, and that's a statue in downtown Minneapolis of Mary Tyler Moore. And we've been trying all night to talk our Aaron Bates into doing the hat toss like Mary Tyler Moore. I don't think she's going to do it, though. These top 9 riders are going to go on to the main event, and maybe Ryan Villopoto can talk you into doing it, Aaron.
Well, guys, he's already won 3 heat races so far this season, but he's yet to get the job done. Ryan, is tonight going to be this night?
Well, you know, just take a good start and be consistent, and you know, got to make us some points. So that's what we're going to hope for. Maybe a mistake from Trey, and you know, just can't take the sponsors up. Monster Poster, Kawasaki, Jetbox Parts Unlimited, and Toyota Escondido, Vans, and Scott. Thanks, guys.
Great job out there. Good luck in the main.
Thank you.
All right, Aaron, thanks. Time for our final 4 riders now. We'll get them out of the last chance qualifier. Let's take a look at the highlights of the LCQ. Here's that tricky first corner. That's pretty good through there. The 195 taking the whole shot, Billy Payne.
Somebody's got their foot off. That's
Is that McKinney?
I think that was Hackley. That was Sean Hackley. Oh!
He's on the 157 Hackley.
And he gives McKinney a little nudge there. And then complete chaos.
Yeah, and they all come firing across the finish line jump. Right now it's McKinney and Kyle Partridge that are listed with the final 4 spots, but Matt Body's right in there on the 109.
Here comes Partridge. Wow, what a battle for the bubble.
That's that final transfer spot they're fighting over. The 702 is Albertson. He's in here as well. Jimmy Albertson out of Ozark, Missouri.
The Show Me State, huh?
You know a little bit about that.
Know a little bit about Missouri, yeah.
Look at these guys fighting their way through the whoops.
Oh, that was close. That was McKinney. He made a mistake. And just about jumped on Bonnie there coming out of the whoop section.
White flag is out. Payne and Ames lead. Bonnie and Partridge now have the top 4 at the line.
Watch this, Ralph. That 95 jumps to the left. McKinney jumps to the, well, straight down.
There's Billy Payne, our leader, having led this one from the start. And Ames on the 596. Zach Ames out of Prospect, Ohio, running in second place right now as we're working the last lap.
And Payne, what a great way to get into the main event here. He's got a whole host of sponsors behind him. He's basically a privateer rider.
Here he comes, checker flag, and Billy Payne, 5 years off, but he's going to the main. And one bike goes sailing off. That looks like it's Jimmy Albertson. He was battling for the final transfer. It's going to be Ames, Bonnie, and Partridge taking it. And Browning is not going to make it.
And watch this as they come back down the start straight. Albertson fades a little wide, goes to scrub that.
Man.
What he wanted to do was do that on-off to the outside of this turn. He wanted to land up here. He landed way on the face of this. Just pogoed him.
And Doc Bodner from the Asterisk Medical Crew right there, checking him out. They do a wonderful job of assisting the riders here. And there's Billy Payne. 5 years off, but a winner tonight in the last chance qualifier. He's going to try to take another step up. See if he can't win himself a podium here. And a main event victory, hopefully for Billy Payne in Minneapolis. phone with weekly green alerts from Speed. Text KX to 773333 on your mobile phone to receive free motorcycle racing text alerts. Speed Green Alerts presented by Kawasaki. Let's look at downtown Minneapolis, Minnesota. We're inside the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome. Ralph Shaheen and Jeff Emig joining you once again. You know, we've seen some great racing tonight with the Supercross lights, but we've seen a couple of surprises. Ryan Villopoto and Josh Grant have been very fast, and Trey Canard, who's been fast all year, has not been.
Yeah, Trey Canard for the first time in a race has not led a lap. He didn't grab the whole shot, and that's where his strength has been, was right out of the gate. He's been perfect. So we'll see how he rebounds in the main event, if he can deal with this, or, you know, if that's going to kind of set him back mentally. But for Villopoto and Grant, this is what we expected them to do at the beginning of the season. Now it's taken them a little bit of time to get everything back on track. And both these riders are awesome tonight. They have been really good all day.
Maybe this will be the night we see Ryan Villopoto earn the nickname Villopodium, stand on that top step here in a Supercross Lights race. Let's go down to Aaron Bates for a Progressive pre-race report.
At 17 years old, the number 48 of Trey Canard has shown maturity both on and off of the track. Not only has he already taken 3 wins so far in his rookie season, but he also graduated from high school a year early through homeschooling. But that's not where the schooling ends. His trainer, Greg Dorenzo, has got him on a customized training program that after every single race he has to write in a journal of what his purpose and what his goal is. Writes it down after every single race, including watching some video. He said he's going to be prepared for any situation that comes his way.
That just goes to show you how far these guys take their training as they get ready for all these races. As you take a look at our up close for the main event for the lights, 22 riders, 15 laps. Grant Villopoto and Billy Payne have all seen checkered flags tonight.
And Villopoto's lap time, 47.3. That's a fast lap. He is on the gas.
Starting grid going across. Could this be the night for Ryan Villopoto? He's 0 for 3 in Lights East Coast competition, main event competition as far as getting a win.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic because Villopoto has been on the podium quite a lot since he's turned professional.
Here we go, main event time in Minneapolis. Josh Grant gets the whole shot. Villopoto's in second. Where's Canard? He's a little bit deeper in the pack.
So Canard, our points leader, he's being tested tonight. Started off every race with the whole shot, has led every lap until tonight.
Davalos is back in fourth, and Canard is seventh. 7th place for Trey Canard right now. As the leaders storm loud across that sharp finish straight.
This is exactly what these two riders have needed to do since the opening round, was get the whole shot, get out front. Josh Grant has been on fire here tonight, so has the number 2. And look at that, that's Billy Payne setting in 3rd place.
The winner of the last chance qualifier.
Yep.
They talked about the 5-year layoff that he's had, and he's dealing with Martin Davalos right now as they battle for 3rd. There you see that fight back coming through that rhythm section. And somewhere back in there is Canard as well. Here comes Davalos with Payne alongside. Payne in the blue riding gear. Here's a fight for the lead, and it's still the 20 of Josh Grant out in front of Ryan Villopoto.
Okay, now remember back to Indianapolis where Villopoto was behind Trey Canard early in the race. Okay, he got really anxious and really aggressive, made a mistake on his own, passing for the lead. So we'll see how long Villopoto will be comfortable riding behind Grant. He's really pressuring him right now. Both riders, pretty similar lap time.
Jeff, I think it's a little different tonight. It looks to me like Villopoto's riding much more in control than he has all year. He looks more like the Ryan Villopoto we saw all last season.
Well, and confidence will allow you to be patient. And I'm not sure that in Indianapolis he was that confident that he was going to win, so he really tried to strike quickly with Grant's teammate Canard. Now both riders right now are riding a very smart race. But now that Villopoto starts to stick the wheel in on Grant, Grant's going to feel that pressure. That's when the heart rate starts to escalate. He's going to see him right there out of the corner of his eye, so he's going to know that Villopoto is looking for that inside line.
Here's the whoop section where Villopoto's been very good tonight.
Both these riders, for that matter.
I was going to say, it looked like Grant matched his pace. Down that straightaway, some 80 yards across the field. Of course, the Metrodome, the home of Major League Baseball's Minnesota Twins and the NFL's Minnesota Vikings.
Grant missed his line on the off-camera turn, and that allowed Villopoto to really close up. When you watch Villopoto closely, when he comes into the turns here.
Oh, here he comes! Villopoto really sticking that front wheel in there.
But see, Villopoto gets back in line. He didn't want to miss this double. Now see, Grant cuts to the inside. He's seen Villopoto out the corner of his eye. Last lap around. Now that the pressure's on, he knew to go there. Very smart riding by Josh Grant. There's Villopoto on the outside. He's going to cut around and duck down in, but you can see he really did not have the bike straightened down and turned far enough to the right to complete that pass.
By far the most in control we've seen Ryan Villopoto all season. And Josh Grant matching his pace. Both of them turning laps in the 47-second range. Villopoto the quickest of the night with a 47.4.
Now, what I was going to say about Villopoto, if you watch him when he goes into the turns, he really, if he's not going to make the pass, he's being very patient, grabbing a deep breath when he comes in here, takes a breath and gets ready for the straightaway, and he's setting it up. He's sizing Grant up right now. See, he's got spots where he can make the pass. He knows that it's going to have to take a pass down the straightaway because the turns and the lower part of those bowl turns are so slippery because of the marbles and the rocks. This could be it. Villopoto's got a good line here.
Tries to come charging out the top of the berm. Here he comes up alongside. Tries to cut back inside, and this time he makes it stick.
Wow, that was awesome, Ralph. He absolutely nailed that turn.
Oh, and look at Josh Grant come charging back. What a great battle for the Supercross Lites main event win here in the Metrodome.
Villopoto in his mid-turn is so good. If it comes around to that section of woods, Villopoto absolutely nailed that turn when he passed Grant. Grant retaliated very maturely, got right back into the lead.
Josh Grant has not had a better finish than a 7th place at Atlanta. He was 12th in Indianapolis, 19th a week ago at Daytona. It is great to see Josh Grant back challenging for the win.
He is very, very composed at this point.
Villopoto had a 22nd place finish in Atlanta, and he's followed that up with 2 second place finishes. He doesn't want a 3rd.
Both these riders just riding an absolutely spectacular main event.
How devastating is it going to be to the mental game of Ryan Villopoto if he beats Trey Canard here tonight? He's back and forth, but then he can't beat Josh Grant.
That would be devastating because for Villopoto, he needs to win. He needs points towards the championship. You see Grant misses his line, so did Villopoto. That was Medaglia got in the way of the lead group here. He needs to get out of the way of the leaders.
Now they're closing in on the Kyle Gills machine, the 521, as our leaders work through traffic with 7 laps to go here in Minneapolis. We'll be right back on the home of the Supercross Lites. Speed for more right after this.
Truckers.
As Ryan Villopoto sizes up the leader. Into the wood section they come.
Watch down the start straight. Villopoto's going to square him out.
Great drive off the corner by both, but it looked like the Honda had a little bit more top end for Grant.
He got out of the top side of the berm and just drove through. A lap rider gets in Villopoto's way. Also, 6 laps to go in this dramatic East Coast Lights race.
Neither rider cracking under the pressure so far.
Both riders turning a 49-second lap time. That's a couple seconds off.
Here's Villopoto inside.
Grant's going to gain a little advantage here by doubling right out the turn.
Martin Davalos continues to run in third. Trey Canard, the points leader, has moved up to fourth. Jeff, as this thing winds down, the intensity goes up. They've got to be careful they don't get into each other, take each other out, too.
Whoa, Grant gets his feet off the pegs. He gets the hops going through the whoop section. That allows Villopoto to close right back up.
Here's Grant through the slowest section.
And he holds up Villopoto through there. Villopoto missed his line. That allowed Grant to slip away. Another couple of bike links.
Yep, it's up to 1.3 seconds between the two. And that's huge the way this battle's been going.
I tell you what, Villopoto is absolutely dialed in the bowl turns right now.
Yeah, he's very good just riding through the rim there, isn't he?
No hesitation. Has to stretch out that triple a little bit. This is the whoop section where Grant had problems last lap.
I'll tell you what, Jeff, both riders doing an outstanding job as we get to 5 laps left here. Let's go back and take a look at how Josh Grant got the rocket hole shot in that Honda.
Grant's right over here on this side to the inside, and watch the red fender just dart out. He's not even a third of the way down the start straight, and he had that Honda out front. Really timed the gate good. It just launched.
And Villopoto, who's right behind him, also got a good start, but just not as good as a 20. And that's been the story of this whole race. Villopoto's been very good, just not as good as a 20.
Well, the 20 has track position right now, and he's riding a very smart, steady race. Villopoto, the aggressor, is trying to find different lines. He's going to have to find a better line than the fast line.
Into the top block goes Grant, and that allowed Villopoto to close in a little bit.
Villopoto goes wide on the on-off.
Tries a different line. You got to go where the other guy's not in the closing stages here.
You cannot pass if you're following, and right now Villopoto is trying every line on the track that Josh Grant is not in.
Oh, look at that. And Grant ran it way wide, and that cost him a bunch of time for Villopoto.
Grant, very smart, stayed high in that turn. You see some down riders. Now, once again, Grant stretches it out, and that's what Grant needs to win this. He needs to not make any mistakes. Take deep breaths when he goes over the jumps. He needs to really maintain his heart rate. Keep focused with 3 to go. Now watch this right here. Grant really lays the back tire out, stalls him in the turn a little bit, and Villopoto absolutely rockets down the start straight. That's exactly where we're at right now as we pick it back up. Grant makes a mistake.
Villopoto really struggled to get out of that very slow corner.
And so did Grant. He missed. That was a tabletop over a single. Yeah. They both missed that.
Now Canard is caught up to Martin Davalos. That's Davalos on the 577. Canard right behind him on the 48.
That off-camber turn is giving everyone fits right now.
The slowest corner of the year has really made it very tricky for everybody. About 2 to go. There's Martin on the 577. KTM rider sitting in third. Trying to get through the slower traffic. See if he can get back up to Davalos. Waiting for the battle for the lead. Here's Grant, and there's that green fender.
There's the green fender that Josh Grant has seen so much this race.
Final lap, and here comes Villopoto. And boy, once again, Grant suspects him and closes the door.
Okay, Grant goes to the inside. This is a slower line. Can Villopoto get a drive? There is very little time for Villopoto. He has to absolutely nail this whoop section. He's going to shift that bike up to third, fourth, fifth gear to the inside.
He tries him on the inside, and Grant suspects it and cuts back inside. They're dead even to the slowest section on the racetrack. Villopoto's going to have the inside line. Grant cuts back inside. Here they come. Oh! Down goes Grant, and Villopoto wins a stunning race. Now Grant's going to try to get to
this spring.
It's been 4 years since the series has been here, and my guess is these fans are going to want it back next year after this finish.
Yeah, definitely take a look at this finish here where Grant tries to get back to the inside. He jumps across. Villopoto jumps right over him. Right here, Grant needs to cut back and double on, but he can't do it, and he jumps right under Villopoto. Villopoto goes on to take that checkered flag.
What a finish, and then the two of them enjoying the competition. And Villopoto is finally Villopodium. He is standing on the top step tonight here in Minneapolis. It took him to the 4th race of the East Coast Series. Who would have believed that at the beginning of the year? And Trey Canard comes home 4th, keep himself ahead in the point standings. Well, finally, Ryan Villopoto is on the top step, Aaron.
Well, guys, for the first time this season, we've seen the grin that Ryan Villopoto is finally sporting, especially after a sweet victory like that one. Ryan, first off, what does this do for your confidence? And secondly, take us through that battle tonight.
Well, you know, it's finally. I started the season not very good with the DNF, and now I'm finally back up here on the box in the #1 spot. So, you know, that makes it happy. It takes, you know, lifts my shoulders up a little bit and makes it easier to get through the week. And yeah, the battle was awesome with me and Josh. I think it went back and forth once or twice in the middle there, and then I kind of dropped back a little bit, and then I think 2 turns from the finish line, I made a little block pass on him, and then we tangled down the straightaway, and then came into this turn here, and I almost jumped on him on the way out. But yeah, it was a great night, and I just can't thank the sponsors enough. Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki, Jeff Oxen Parts Unlimited, Toyota of Escondido, you know, mom and dad, girlfriend, my trainer Randy Lawrence, and Bones, just everybody on the team. Thank you.
Congratulations on a sweet victory.
Thank you.
That was the Ryan Villopoto we came to expect this year. We're going to wrap up this 2008 season in Las Vegas at Sam Boyd Stadium. Speed's going to be there. We sure hope you can be there. Of course, for the Lites, it'll be the only time this year we see the East and the West Coast guys get together in the Davy Coombs Senior Memorial East-West Shootout. Always a great race.
Definitely.
Well, Villopoto chips away a little bit at Trey Canard. It's 24 points separating the two, and Ryan Sykes is just 2 markers back in 3rd. Aaron.
Josh Grant having the ride of his life today, not only winning this heat race, but getting the whole shot. Josh, so close, but yet so far. Take us through what happened.
You know, I just got a good start, and that's, you know, what I've been practicing a lot, and I just want to get out front so I don't have to deal with everyone behind me. You know, I just have had some bad luck the last 3 races and being in the back of the pack, so, you know, it's good to start up front and then show everyone how I can ride. So, you know, the Torco Racing Fuels Honda was the one that got me up there, so I can't, you know, thank them enough.
Congratulations, Josh Grant, a great boost of confidence, but Martin Davalos is back on the podium once again. Martin, tonight's track wasn't the most technical of tracks, but still yet difficult.
Yeah, it was pretty difficult. The whoops got really cupped out by the end. You know, I got a good start, worked through the laps. I put some consistent laps, made a couple mistakes. Trey got behind me and got around me, passed him back, and finally, you know, put it together. I had 2 rough weekends, and I'm so happy to be up here. I've been working so hard. I just want to thank all the MTF guys that wake up in the morning, get the tracks ready, Colin Millsaps for sure, all my family, my dad, my brother that's here with me, everybody. Just, I'm so happy. Thank you so much.
Here's a look at the Toyota moving forward schedule. We finally get a weekend off, and then it's to the Rogers Center in Toronto, the only trip north of the border this year, and that's actually a non-points race for the Supercross Lights class. Wow, what a show here in Minneapolis. The first time the tour's been back here in 4 years. I'm sure the fans are going to want it back in 09. Well, for Aaron Banks and Jeff Emig, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from Minneapolis, and congratulations to Ryan Villopoto.